Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So have you guys been finding it really difficult to stay consistent in your paper planner? Or maybe you're able to stay consistent in it until you get really busy or you hit a really busy time in your life and then you stop using it even though that's the time you need it the most? Well, I've been going through this like on and off for a while now. If you guys follow me on social media, you have seen that, me talking about while I love paper planning, every time things get really busy, I always seem to switch over to digital. And I think the thing that I'm finding is paper planning is not just for planning or being functional, but also it's obviously our hobby and we like to make it look nice and we like the feel of paper and holding our planner. But I think in this day and age and in this world now where a lot of us have a corporate job and we have, sometimes a side gig and we have a family to take care of, we have all of these components in our life. It's just not practical just to use a paper planner because you spend so much time writing everything down instead of like doing the actual tasks. And so I've always used some sort of digital form. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't resonate with digital planning in like, a PDF planner situation because you're still rewriting things. So today I'm going to share with you what I've actually been using as a tool that basically just integrates the existing digital tools that we already all use, like Outlook for my work and Google Calendar for home life. So this has been really helpful for me to just have one place to see everything in my life, from my corporate job to all this YouTube stuff, to my family stuff. Just to have everything in one place all organized has been really helpful for me, and I really like that I don't need to rewrite things and it's already just integrated in there. So if this sounds up your alley, then keep watching and I'm going to show you how I have been being really productive with this tool. Okay guys, so I'm going to take you through how I've been setting this up. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it looks, but the reason why I need something like this and why my paper planner wasn't working is because of how scary my calendar can get. And this is just has made it so much easier to organize all the different aspects of my life. Like I said, like for work, for family life, for my stuff that I'm doing on the side, it's just been combining everything into one spot. And it's not to say that I'm not going to use a paper planner at some point, but this has been really helping me functionally. So let me take you through my setup. Don't be too scared, but for those of you guys who are wanting something to help with functionality, especially at times when you're busy and you're not finding that you're using your planner, I think this is really going to help. Okay, so I'm just going to move myself out of the way, and this view that you're seeing right now is this inbox calendar view. And one of the things that I am loving about this is being able to integrate all the different parts of my life into one spot. You might ask, why don't just import all of my calendars, for example, into Google Calendar? And that's because I share my Google Calendar with my husband, or I associate my Google Calendar with just home stuff, and I don't need him seeing everything. Like, he doesn't care what I'm doing at work and what I'm doing for the YouTube channel. And so I like my separate spot to combine everything. So this is what that kind of looks like in a week. So the blue is stuff that I have for work. Then I've also actually added time blocking sections to block out certain things that I need to do for the YouTube channel or for work in general. And then as well, I've combined my Google Calendar for home type things, which is these things in gray. So it's really easy and intuitive to integrate everything. And I think that's one of the main benefits of AccuFlow is that I could set this up in 10 minutes because it's super user-friendly and intuitive. And so I'm just going to show you the different views that I use. So the weekly view is the main thing that I use, but you can change this into, a month view. You can change this to a week view. You can change this even into like a 3-day view if you're somebody who only likes to look at, 3 days at a time. So my typical that I like to see it is by week. Okay, so this is then one spot that I can kind of count on to have everything synced without me having to like manually go in and add things, which is really important, especially when I'm busy. I can't just sit at my paper calendar and like combine all the different sources in my paper calendar. So I like how this is just all integrated at once. So not only is this amazing for time blocking, but the other key thing of using this is that you can, of course, have tasks imported. So let me just show you how I do that. So I've integrated this with my Microsoft To Do. So for those of you guys who use Outlook or the Microsoft suite of products for work, and I know a lot of you guys do that, you can actually integrate what you're using in Microsoft To Do for the tasks and integrate it into here as well. So it's not just the calendar, it's also the tasks. And so I use Microsoft To Do religiously, but again, I wanted to have somewhere where it incorporated things from work as well as the things that I'm including in, for example, my reminders or other personal tasks into one spot, right? And have a consolidated area as well as somewhere that I can go back to and just look at the work tasks that I wanted to. So how I did it here is I've added a whole bunch of different folders. So for me at work, I'm an accountant. Everything is kind of a month at a time, month-end close, month-end forecasts, or monthly forecasts. It's all by month. So I actually have folders set up for each month. And then what I like to do is add in tasks that relate to the month that I need to do work. And so you can actually group them into different sections. So I have a work section, I have an Etsy section, and I have a YouTube section. And then I also started an area for my house. So for example, for work, if I go to any of these, you'll see the tasks that I set out, and not every single one has tasks, but if there is something that I need to do in the future, I can remind myself and put it in that folder, and I'll go to that folder during that month. So then one thing I wanted to show you guys is that it's really easy to then pull these tasks into your calendar and block it off. So for example, if I pull this task over, I can easily put it somewhere into my calendar and it blocks it off as a 30-minute interval. So it's kind of doing the time blocking for me instead of me adding that section, right? You can go direct from a task over to time block. And then, of course, if you don't want to do that, you can easily add events and you can easily add a new task, and you can also easily add a slot, right? And this is like your time blocking, basically. So for those of you guys who are big on time blocking, and over time, I have definitely developed a need for time blocking just because of how busy things are. I like to, make sure that I have time to do all the tasks that I've set up for myself. So this is kind of the main functionality that I use. And then one other thing I wanted to show you guys is when you have an inbox of tasks, so of course you can move things into a certain month. So you'll see that this one is a January 2025 task. And what it's showing here is it's showing that in my Microsoft To Do, I have this in a 2025-01 folder. So I'm going to keep that consistent and move it into my folder here as well. And the nice thing that you can do here is if you press Control S, you'll see that it disappears, but it actually didn't disappear. And what it put it into is a someday bucket so that I can see that, I've assigned this task somewhere and that I don't have to look at a full list of tasks. So that was something that was important for me because, I don't need to be staring at a task that I know that I don't need to do until January 2025, right? Like same with this one. And so I put it in the January 2025 folder, and then I'm going to Control S, and it's going to move it into my someday, and I'll show you how that works. So if you wanted to see all your tasks still, you can go into the all tasks and see that, or you can go here and see the tasks you've categorized. So for example, the someday, I've moved a bunch of my tasks into someday because they're already categorized into a folder and I don't need to see them now. Does that make sense? And of course, you can plan things for a certain day. Like here, I have the AccuFlow video that I'm doing now. So there's just like so many options, and it's very intuitive, very easy to organize your life if you have different aspects of your life that, you need to integrate into one spot. So another cool feature here that I wanted to show you that you can use to organize certain things is the use of tags. And you guys know, if you have followed my channel, that I used to use getting things done very religiously. And now that I've been using it for so long, I kind of take aspects of it that I need, and I don't need necessarily to do the full system. So what I've done here is that I have added a waiting on tag because there are tasks or items that I'm waiting on somebody else to do, and I do want those kind of like in an area that's at the forefront of when I'm in a different view so that I can easily jump to it. So you'll see that I actually have a waiting on tag here. And what's nice is that in the all tasks area, you can actually go to a waiting on tab and you can see the items that you're waiting on, which is really nice because, I'm seeing all my tasks here, but sometimes I don't care about these. I want to just know exactly the items that I'm waiting on so I can follow up on those. So it's nice to be able to jump into that section. And of course, you can create as many of these as you want, right? Like if you follow GTD, you might want to have a next actions list and you can have a next actions tag so that it pops up here and then you can easily jump between the sections based on the way that you've categorized it using the tags. Does that make sense? So yeah, those are kind of the key features that I use in AccuFlow. And I think what I want to stress is that sometimes when I see different types of tools, they get really overwhelming because I feel like there's such a big learning curve, or it's like almost like you have to have like coding experience to make it work. But AccuFlow is just the most user friendly if you're trying to get organized and set up really quickly and you're trying to be functional. And that's exactly the thing that I need, especially if I'm usually using a paper planner and I love the feel of paper planning and all of that. But when I'm busy, the paper planner just like it doesn't work because I just need to have everything organized in one spot, already pulled in from the various sources, and like not have me write all those down. And that is what I've been loving about AccuFlow is that it's that functional tool that organizes my life. But if I want to make things pretty, if I want to have the feel of paper, I'll still have that on the side. But yeah, I just love that, on any day, I can come here, jump to this view, easily see all the different aspects of my life and not worry that I've missed something because I forgot to copy it over because I'm, doing it by hand. And yeah, it's not possible when you have a full-time job, you have a side gig thing, you have, family stuff to do. It's not possible, at least for me. So I highly recommend that you guys give this a try. And I think it's going to help so many of you guys who are also like really busy working moms, or even if you're not and you just have like maybe you have like 6 kids and you need to organize everybody's schedules. This just works so well to pull everything together into one spot. So I want to say a big thank you to AccuFlow for sponsoring this video. I tried out their product even before they reached out because I've seen other people online use it. And yeah, it's just been such a game changer in the background. So if you guys have any questions, let me know down below. Let me know what tools you guys use because we would all love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.